I love the way I can sit down to do my quiet time with Jesus, and I read a familiar verse, and that verse motivates me, encourages me in a new way. That happened to me the other day, and I would like to share with you how Psalm 119, verse 105, motivated me in a very personal way. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light to my path. The two lines are an example of Hebrew parallelism. The first line seems to be saying almost the same thing as the second line. This emphasizes the thought, but also expands the meaning. When doing a Bible study of just one verse, it's so important to look at the context. Psalm 119 is the longest psalm in the book of Psalms. It has 176 verses, arranged in groups of 8, which follow the Hebrew alphabet. It is full of statements about the value of knowing God's Word. In fact, it's been called the Christian's ABCs of how to live, praise, and with the power of God's Word. So when we look at this verse, we can expect an insight into the benefits and the joys of God's Word in our lives. Next, I thought about the individual words in this verse. They create a metaphor. Metaphors are powerful images that stick with us and also open up new ideas. There are 4 words that help me to unpack the message of this verse: path, feet, light, lamp. Path is the general direction that I am moving. I think of it as my life journey. It's a direction that I am trying to go in. I have a destination, like Highway 90, moving from Seattle all the way across the country to Boston. If I stick on this pristine ribbon of concrete from coast to coast, I arrive at my destination very efficiently with very few stoplights, and the clearly marked signs help me not to get lost. That's a great metaphor for my spiritual life. I looked up the exact meanings of the words lamp and light. Light is more general, like daylight, and it works well with this idea of a big picture, a general direction. Lamp is paired with feet. The feet is a metaphor for my daily walk, step by step. Think of it as a flashlight. You need this specific focus light in order to go safely through life. I think an example will clarify. In general, the word, the light, tells me love one another. And that's the direction I want to go in my life. In fact, I have prayed many times over the years, God, give me more love for others. And then one day I realized I needed the lamp, the more focused light. I began to pray about my practical everyday walk. Love is serving. So I began to look more, how do I serve others? After all, Christ came to serve, not to be served. I look for opportunities to serve, like babysitting, teaching a class, cooking a meal for a sick person. I helped start a business for a man who needed more income. I gave baby clothes away. I thought about how many of us say, yes, we're Christians, we go to church, we read our Bible, we're okay. But then the Word shines that lamp directly into our lives in a specific area. And a verse might say, am I holding on to bitterness? Am I holding on to habits of anger? Do my words really reflect love? When I'm offended, do I hold on to that? Well, those kind of questions, those kind of shining verses in the Word really reveal, am I walking in the direction of love? Another example would be the word tells us that we are to be disciple makers. That's Matthew 28. Go out and make disciples. So my general direction, the light, is to be making disciples. But how do I do that? The word also is a lamp to my day-by-day footsteps. I look at the example of Jesus in the Gospels, and I can do the same. I can eat meals with someone I'm discipling. I can do some teaching with those people. I can pray with them. I can go on ministry with them, and I can share responsibility with them. I decided I would start meeting with 2 of the women I disciple for lunch every week. And I came intentionally and prepared with questions that would help them shine a light on their daily walk. Here's the principle. I must intentionally take steps in the right direction to reach my destination. When you study a verse in the Bible, it's good to have some questions, some basic questions. For example, what am I learning about God in this verse? And I see that God is helping us with His word to shine lights on our paths. He really wants me to understand how to live with joy and great benefit. Another question is there something in this verse that is a promise or a command? Well, I looked at this and it really motivated me to want to study more of the word. Study with really asking for specific directions in my life. I think the promise here would be that God will give me insight, wisdom, light. I hope this encourages you. One verse can just open up new thoughts to think about. My RX for joy today, let God's word shine in your life.